today because it is absolutely gorgeous. So if you hear some background noise or people, walking by, that's what that is. And hopefully my papers don't float away while I have my notes out here to make this video for you. But I am super excited. We get to start talking about my favorite composer, maybe of all time, Hector Berlioz. Yes, this is the composer that I named my cat after. So he's a really, really interesting composer. I like him a lot. His music is fantastic. Berlioz is another romantic composer. He sits right in the middle of the Romantic period. He was born in 1803 and he died in 1869, so he's about 65 years old. So he lived a pretty good life. And for most of his life, he did pretty well. He loved music as a kid. He learned how to play the flute and guitar and even taught himself how to compose stuff as a kid. But his father was a doctor, and when it was time for Berlioz to go on to college, his father kind of pushed him into medicine. So in 1821, Berlioz did go to Paris to study medicine, and he studied that for about 4 or 5 years. But all the while, he would spend time at the Paris Opera House and the Conservatory, and even took some music classes until finally in 1826, he went to the Paris Conservatory to actually start studying music. The medicine track just did not work out for him, so I relate to Berlioz on that because that's exactly what I did all through high school. Was I wanted to go into medicine, and then at the last minute my senior year I was like, I want to be a music teacher. So I definitely feel some kinship to him on that. He really started composing when he entered that field. But then once he left the Paris Conservatory, he wasn't that successful as a composer, so he started making money as a music critic, but he really didn't like it. He went on record saying, I really don't like being a music critic. It takes way too much time away from writing music, which was fair. He started to have more success in the 1840s and 50s in the middle of his life, and he was able to stop being a music critic and just be a full-time composer. He was also a conductor. A lot of times he conducted his own pieces, which was really cool. And he worked in Germany, Russia, and England, as well as Italy, but mostly Germany, Russia, and England. Eventually, in 1868, he went back to Paris, and at this point, he was an older man. He had had 2 wives, and both of them had died, and so did his only son. So at this point of his life, Berlioz was pretty depressed, and he wasn't necessarily a happy person, and yet when we listen to a lot of his music from that time during the end of his life, it's really joyful and full music. He was popular during his life. People knew who he was. He made decent money. But people still thought that his music was a little bit weird, a little bit out there, and it wasn't until about 20 to 50 years after his death that people looked back and the stuff that people thought was weird when Berlioz was doing it had become popular, and they sat there and went like, whoa, this dude was way ahead of his time. So he's really a genius. When we look back at a lot of his stuff, he was so intelligent. Sorry, there is a bird over there playing in the leaves, and it's so cute. So just super distracting over there. It's so cute. Moving on, Berlioz was very intelligent. His music, he just pushed boundaries, did a lot of things with music that nobody had done before. So I'm really excited to start talking about him over the next couple of days, and I hope that you like his music as much as I do.